Disruption is at the heart of everything and certainly an integral part of the evolution of life. From an investment perspective, we see it as a significant trend, presenting innovative opportunities for growth as well as challenges. This is why embracing disruption is one of our 4 investable themes, alongside navigating rates, appreciating China, and achieving sustainability. But in the past, the word disruption has been used a lot, mostly in association with geopolitical events such as wars, or from a sector perspective with a particular focus on the tech sector, addressing topics such as retail disruption from bricks and mortars to online. But this is still very much a fact. But what we have seen in recent years, and what we believe will accelerate in the decades to come, is disruption becoming much broader and spreading to many other sectors. Disruption is also found across financial markets as well as in our day-to-day lives. The COVID-19 pandemic, for instance, has completely changed how we conceptualize working, but also opened up new perspectives on how humans can interact virtually, for example, with the metaverse. The post-pandemic monetary condition normalization is also a disruptor, given its unusual scope and speed of tightening, in fact, the fastest since the Second World War. Another example of disruption is how the current energy supply crisis is affecting governments' views of national security and enabling an acceleration of the shift to renewable energy, globally, but especially in Europe. We have identified several major disruptive forces that are reshaping markets. First, the pervasiveness of technology. Tech should not be considered as an isolated, independent sector. On the contrary, tech is permeating every sector. This is due to the acceleration of the use of AI, combined with data availability, machine learning, as well as the power of the platforms and hardware. This increasingly leads to a state of what I call digital Darwinism, or the fact that the competitive forces that companies need to embrace to win are increasingly shaped by the vision and access they have to technology and AI. The second major disruptive force we see is climate change. As the world struggles to reduce carbon emission to stay on the path towards a 1.5-degree temperature increase, the effects of climate change are becoming ever more palpable. Taming climate change will require a rethinking of our energy mix, the development of new materials and new technology, as well as a shift in consumer behaviors towards more sustainable consumption. This will impact most aspects of how we produce and consume, where we produce, including the way we approach agriculture, organize transport, and plan our cities. Third, and as the past 2 years have made abundantly clear, disruption can come from geopolitical volatility or new lines of fragmentation in the global village. With the Russian-Ukrainian situation, geopolitics have come back with a vengeance, forcing companies to rethink their global supply chain in more innovative ways, be it in terms of commodities or raw materials, but also in terms of cutting-edge components such as semiconductors. And let's not forget that as China embarks on its phase 3 of its transformational journey, the world is finding it somehow difficult to adjust to the emergence of a new large and powerful player at the global table. Last but not least, there are also more silent but no less powerful agents of disruption. Demographics are a case in point. The combination of a large global population, in fact the largest we've ever seen, and its impact on the available resources the planet offers, as well as an aging of population in Europe, North America, emerging markets, Asia, everywhere, are increasingly an important source of potential disruption. This will spur the need for medical advances as well as new forms of consumption, for example, but also potentially large waves of migration especially in the context of climate change. It's important not to take a fatalistic approach to disruption. Disruption is pervasive, but each and every one of us is also an agent of disruption. So let's think of disruption as a source of innovation, and for us to have an agile mindset in order to understand and integrate its varying consequences. For investors, it's important to focus on the opportunities that disruption brings. This means questioning old ways of investing. It means questioning certain benchmarks that reflect old industrial models or do not take into account new sectors and new investment regions, such as China. It means including a thematic approach when investing, focusing on companies that will harvest the benefits of being disruptive. It means looking at companies that are actors for change, for example, in the climate debate, rather than relics of past business model. It also means measuring perhaps financial returns along with outcome returns. What do I mean by this? Outcome returns is the impact we can drive via our important role as global capital allocators. Embracing disruption ultimately means that investors should consider not just future risk, but even more so, future opportunities.
投资一定有风险，基金投资有赚有赔，申购前应详阅公开说明书。